Welcome everyone. Segment of 3 minutes with Jay Bala. Jay is the portfolio manager over at AIP Asset Management. So Jay, I just came across a report and I'm looking at data that is showing us that GDP is well below what it was in the 90s. That the federal debt level has grown from, 5 trillion to $17 trillion. So, I'm thinking we're in a place where the economy is not supportive of where the stock market is. And maybe you could try to explain that to people in a way that they can understand.
It's this continuous pumping in of liquidity and of debt. I mean, if you look at sort of consumer debt, if you look at just debt overall for governments, I mean, that's gone through the roof. And so what happens when you pump in all of this cheap debt into the system, you start creating asset bubbles. So you start creating, simply put, the prices of things start going up. You probably, living in Vancouver, you've noticed that the house prices keep going up. And everybody says, it's the Chinese or it's whoever. In reality, a big chunk of that is, it's really cheap money to borrow, right? Like you're borrowing, $1 million at 2%. And you're thinking, that's not so bad. That's, better than anything else I can do with my money, right? But the problem is, if you look at it, again, from a practical standpoint, let's say the average house in Vancouver is $1 million. Now let's go backwards and say, what if, interest rates went back to normality and, 5%. And people always look at me like I'm an idiot when I say, mortgage rates at 5%. But, anyone that's sort of older has realized, used to pay mortgage rates of 10%. And 5% isn't that far away. So now if you think about it, well, if you got $1 million of debt outstanding and you have to pay 5% interest on it, that's $50,000 a year. Plus you've amortized your mortgage this year over 20 years. So you're paying, principal payments as well. I mean, net, on top of maintenance and all of that stuff, you're going to need about $100,000 free and clear every year just to cover your housing payment. You have to make $200,000 a year so you can afford the $100,000 payment.
I'll just finish up with asking you, so, where do you have your money today?
Same place it's been for the last few weeks, probably last few months, half in cash, half in my hedge fund.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thanks, Jay. We'll talk to you next week.
No problem. Thank you.